Hello, everybody. Today we have our special guest. Her name is Ainsley. She's one of the high school students from our program, and she is going to do an awesome interview sharing her journey with POTS. We
Yes, I'm
also,
so excited.
yeah, and we also have Sebastian. He's one of the founders also for this association. Sebastian, do you want to do a brief introduction to yourself?
So I'm Sebastian. I also have spots, and I know that it's a long way to go, but I'm excited to this.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. So this interview will be taking place over 5 sections. So yeah, let's go start. So in section one, we're going to get to know Ainsley. So first of all, Ainsley, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you enjoy to do in your free time?
Yeah, so I am a senior at Rochester Adams High School in Michigan. It's pretty cold out right now. We have a ton of snow. But yeah, so I'm a senior and it's my last year, thank God. But more than that, I'm also an older sister. I'm the oldest in my family. I have two other siblings, and I also play soccer. I've been playing soccer since I
Oh,
was 3 years old. Yeah, and
nice.
I love to cook. I love to go to the gym and work out. It's something that I really find rewarding. And I love traveling too. I'm going to Europe next summer. I'm really excited. But yeah, I'm also an AP capstone student. So I had this like wonderful opportunity to do research for my school and for like a good cause. So yeah, so it's a little bit
Awesome.
about
Oh,
myself.
that's
Yeah.
so awesome. I love soccer too. I love soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is like a normal day for you as a student on high school or Rochester High School?
Yeah. So my school, we like to say it's kind of like a little bit of an advanced school. We have a lot of great teachers, a lot of great programs. Many of us are in AP classes. So, with all that being said, it's also very competitive. So, we have a lot of students that are very successful. So, I say my day, honestly, is consists of a lot of like advanced classes, which are a lot of work, but I also am encouraged. It's fun to be surrounded by people like that. And a lot of times the people that I have these classes with, I've been with since, freshman year. So it's kind of exciting to see us all grow. But I also have a ton of friends that I love Adams. It's a really great school. I think we're ranked number 3 in public schools in
Wow.
Michigan. Yeah. So they might have changed this year, but so I really pride myself of being a Highlander. It's actually not my first choice of a school. I had to go here because of my move with my housing, but I could not have made a better choice. I love it.
Wow.
And so yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's like honestly, when I was in high school, I was never enrolled to a lot of things because like first our high school was like okay. I mean, I like it,
yeah,
but
Yeah.
because
yeah.
yeah, but because we're also Latino, so it was like kind of hard to
Oh yeah.
establish.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were kind of like, okay, what is high school? And then like we were figuring out.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
because that's
I
what
think it
else.
helps here. We have a lot of diversity here, so it's kind of like a lot of people like understand and empathize. Like I think most of my friends are from different countries or something. So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't really know too much about like Massachusetts. I know Boston's pretty diverse, but
Yeah,
other than
Boston.
that, I'm
Yeah.
kind of a little bit unaware.
Yeah, Boston is super like I mean Massachusetts super diverse. So continue to the interview. So before you're diagnosed, what kind of activities like did you picture for yourself?
Yeah, well, like I said, I did do travel soccer. I've done travel soccer since I was 5, and I've always done soccer. So I always pictured myself doing college soccer, actually. It was something that I really had a set plan in mind when I was in 5th grade. I remember I was telling myself, like, I'm going to be on the national team. I love soccer. So it's always been in my mind that I was going to be a college soccer player
Wow.
before I had POTS. And so
Wow.
there's a lot of opportunities to get familiar with coaches and to go to tournaments and showcases. And I was I was very athletic. I took training very seriously. I didn't really have any other issues, until I had POTS. So
Yeah.
it is kind of frustrating because I had these goals in mind. And obviously some things happened too. It's not let alone having POTS that made it very difficult for me in soccer.
Yeah.
But it also was a combination of, wow, maybe I don't want to only play college soccer. I started to pursue an interest in politics and like government and law.
Mm,
So I kind of, that was part of it. But POTS honestly was something that started it because I started having symptoms that made it hard to play soccer. And I kind of realized it's going to be difficult when I do play college soccer. So it kind of took away my passion to do it professionally or anything like that. But I do still play soccer. However, I'm not in a competitive league as I was before.
okay.
But I've found ways to manage my symptoms, so I can still play the sport that I love before I go to college and have to stop. So,
Okay. Well, first, I hope you feel like a lot better. I
thank
know
you,
it's
thank
like a
you.
very complicated, I know, illness, and
Yeah.
sometimes I personally don't like it to call like illness. I say like it's a condition because I don't feel POTS define us as a human being.
Exactly. It doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I
doesn't.
feel like chronic illness is so scary to hear. So it's like you automatically want to label yourself, but it's so much, you're so much more, you know?
Exactly. And more with the
Hmm.
sports that it's even more complicated. But
Yes.
so
Yeah.
when did you first start noticing all these symptoms like and what they were like for you?
So my first time I ever had a symptom, at least to my knowledge, was I was ironically, it was a week after I got COVID. So I did do some research about that, and I there is some possible link to that for long COVID.
Yes.
But I remember it was my first day of freshman year, and I was standing in my first hour, and we were standing up for a really long time. And I don't know what happened, but suddenly I got really, really hot, and like my heart was racing. I couldn't see anything. My hands were like getting sweaty all of a sudden. I got cold sweats. I was wearing jeans. I remember they were like, my sweat was going through my jeans. It was that bad. And I remember going to my teacher, and I was pale, and she's like, yeah, go to the bathroom. Like, and so I went, and I don't know how long I was out, but apparently I did pass out in the stall like for um I don't really know how long, but somebody found me. So it was kind of like, wow, great way to start my high school experience, passing out in the bathroom. But I did go home, and I kind of, we talked with my mom, and she's like, well, I have no idea. Like, nobody really knows. But after that, about a couple weeks after, I passed out after taking a shower, and I passed out right on my bathroom floor.
Wow.
So I was like, there has to be something going on. I thought maybe it was related with COVID, but I tested negative. I didn't have COVID anymore, at least to what I thought. I didn't know about long COVID really. So that was kind of when my symptoms began and what happened. It kind of happened in the most extreme way, which makes me wonder if I actually had symptoms before. But I do think COVID probably triggered something, because now every time I get sick, my symptoms are worse. But yeah, so that was kind of the beginning of it all.
Well, talking about that, I am so impressed because you cannot imagine the amount of cases of dysautonomia after COVID is
Yeah.
like so impressive. Even
Hmm.
if we have time or if you want to continue to do this, we can even
Hmm.
work in a research about
Yeah.
long COVID. Mostly in
Yeah.
neuroscience class, we were talking about that.
Hmm.
And there's not like a lot of things, there's a lot of research out, but every time the researcher mentioned that there is further research to do
Hmm.
because there's some things that are on us not understood. So I think
Yes,
definitely COVID,
absolutely.
yeah, I think definitely
Hmm.
COVID or even the vaccine played an
Yeah.
important role.
I had to get the
Yeah.
vaccine for soccer. They told me you can't play soccer until you get the vaccine. So
Oh my
I
God.
there could be a correlation for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
Hmm.
so when after all these symptoms, when did you start feeling that something wasn't right? When you say like, okay, this is not normal.
Yeah, I think it was probably that same fall that I first passed out. I had times where I could not get out of bed in the morning, and it wasn't just laziness. I realized, like, I would
Yeah.
get up and I'd feel very hot, sweaty. My heart was racing. Like, I don't know what,
Yeah.
something wasn't right. I had to skip school, and I had to skip practices, and I had to go to doctor's visits. And, every time they would tell me, the first time the guy told me I was having hormone issues. They're like, "Oh, you're probably just it's something with your menstrual cycle." And then the second person told me, "Oh, like it's very common for athletes. You just need to drink more Gatorade or
Yeah.
something." And then the next person was like, "Oh, you probably just have anxiety." But I don't get, how am I feeling anxiety in my bathroom? That doesn't make sense. So kind of after that, I realized, okay, there's something deeper going on. My mom also realized this. She's done medical research before, so she knows kind of how to research, what to find out. So that's when we really started to dive into, okay, is this something that maybe my doctors would not recognize or understand?
Exactly, exactly. It happened exactly the same. Every time you go to ER, I was on, even in my country, thing with Colombia is that we have very good doctors, but
Mhm.
actually the technology is not very advanced. So
Yeah.
there's few specialists that they're very good, but when every time I was on ER, he was like, okay, so you must be pregnant. And I was 13. I was like, okay, wow.
Yeah, no way.
We were diving with the specialist later, but how long did it take to receive your pot diagnosis for yourself? Like, and
Yeah.
what was the process like for you?
So I finally received like a orthostatic vital this summer. I went to a cardiologist, a good cardiologist that knew about POTS. And my mom, thanks to my mom, she did a lot of work with finding communities and people, parents that had the same situation going on with their kid. So it took basically 4 years, which I know is actually not like as
Yeah.
long compared to many people. Just in my survey right now, I'm getting responses that people are at least, it took them at least 6 years to be diagnosed. And I think I'm very grateful to have a mom that like does this, and myself too. I also did research to my the best I could,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more just deep diving on TikTok, but I kind of did start to realize that what like where we needed to go. So they obviously they had me lay down, stand up for different scenarios, and then they measured my blood pressure and my BPM. And I had my watch myself actually, and I knew what it took to get diagnosed with POTS, so I did it at home before I even saw this cardiologist, and I watched my BPM rise by over 50 once, and I was like every single time. So but I'm on a 3-year wait list to get the tilt table test because I really want that one. Because that I think that's like a very, very clear telling sign. Like you really cannot. I mean, like I think it's the orthostatic vitals are also a very great telling sign that someone does have POTS.
Yeah.
But I've been on this wait list for so long, so I'm like, well, might as well just go to the Mayo Clinic and get it done. But it was very frustrating. Like I said, it's not even just 4 years, but it's also I think I probably saw like 8 different doctors, and I think only two of them even knew about POTS. So very, very annoying. But I'm so grateful that I finally found someone because I think that if I wasn't, I'd still be in this kind of circle, like convincing myself, maybe I don't have POTS, maybe I'm just lazy, maybe I'm just
Exactly.
like, I don't know. But because it's
Yeah.
frustrating and it makes your symptoms worse. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and even like I know, it can be confusing for the doctors because it is like 1,000 symptoms in the same condition.
Hmm.
So they
Yeah.
basically knows like, okay, so if she's having this or if she's having this type of things, they go through this direct symptoms. A lot of like umbrella of topics and
Hmm.
like conditions.
Hmm.
And it was happening like the same sometimes with my orthostatic, even like my posture, it was like waking up. I sometimes my blood pressure was stable, but I still feel a lot of symptoms besides from only like the blood pressure. So it
Yes.
was
Hmm.
for me personally, it was like the constant like dizziness and like the constant
Hmm.
thing. I was feeling so weird. I was floating.
Yeah.
So it
Hmm.
was so bad. So Sebastian, can you share like briefly how was for you, like your diagnosis?
Yeah, so basically, because I think I had like you guys said, I think COVID has something to do with it because like the symptoms start going harder because I have them before, but like the symptoms start like going, they increase in a very like increase in a very significant way. But yeah, so because I knew that I have symptoms before COVID, but just like the COVID increased them, I, like as soon as I got the increase of the symptoms, started going to specialists. It lasts 6 months, like she said, like yeah, it was like going to neurologists, going to cardiologists. That they found out that I had POTS.
Yeah.
So but like the the bad part, like you said, like on Colombia it was the same, but on here it was like, yeah, you just don't feel right. You just don't.
Mhm.
You just
Over exaggerate.
it was just like
Yeah, it's in your
a
head.
bad,
Uh-huh.
yeah. It was,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah,
Stress.
it
Mhm.
was kind of frustrating in that part.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Oh my God. So for you, Ainsley, what was like the hardest part of accepting this diagnosis when at first, like when you first got it?
Well, I think the hardest thing, and I've obviously changed now, but I really took that chronic illness label to like a max. I was like, this is something that's going to make my life harder, and obviously still does, but I kind of let it turn into something like I have this condition. And obviously there's people that have POTS way worse than me too. And I mean, I'd say on my scale, I'm probably like at a 7, like 6 or 7. But
Yeah.
so there's this like it's kind of this like idea that if you convince yourself that there's something you have to constantly be afraid of, then you it kind of almost makes the symptoms worse, I almost feel.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
think honestly the hardest part was just accepting that this is like something in my life that doesn't define me and that it's just something that, you know, it might build some character and kind
Yeah.
of make me more resilient. Because I've never had a health condition before that, which is, you know, why I was so crazy. But also just accepting that like it's okay to be okay, like or not be okay. Like it is okay to take a break. Because I thought immediately when I got diagnosed, like, what am I gonna have to do? Like, am I gonna have to take all these pills? Am I gonna have to stop playing soccer? But in reality, I can do a lot of what I could do before, just with a lot of management. Thankfully, I can. I know some people have it really bad,
Yeah.
but I think it's just different for everybody. And as long as you tell yourself that it's not something that defines you and that you're still the person that you were before, just with a little bit extra package, I think that that's honestly the best thing that helped
Yeah,
me.
exactly. I think one of the hardest thing for me was like, did you make the tilt test? And you were like laid down and like they put like a
I'm take Yeah, I'm going to be taking that. I'm on the wait list for. Before they
okay.
just had me kind of like informally like, okay, lay down. Now. But
Okay.
yeah, I am on a wait list for that.
Okay. So when I first had my tilt test on Columbia, well, I'm not gonna scare you. I
No, you're
mean,
good.
but
I heard it's bad.
yeah, I mean, you have to be very strong.
Hmm.
Which I wasn't prepared for that because at least you know you already have that and at least you mentally
Hmm.
internally know about it. But when I
Hmm.
first had my tilt test, I was probably 14 years old.
Okay,
And
it's
it
young.
was so hard for me because I was having the symptoms and then it was probably the nurse and the doctor and then they kind of like then they lift the bed and then they put
Hmm.
a spray under my tongue which that it's
Hmm.
called basically my veins get dilated
Uh-huh.
and then I start feeling so bad that I pass out and then
Yeah,
don't
it's
get scared.
no, it's okay. I've heard worse stories. I hope.
Okay. After that, the first thing the doctor said to me, "Oh, yeah, you have POTS. That doesn't have any cure." I was like,
Mm, yeah.
"What?"
Hmm.
I was like, "Am
Just
I
a
gonna die?"
brief pause.
No, did you tell us, did you have your tilt test done?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Was it good?
yeah. It was kind of similar to that. I was like, because I was going this process with my mom. It was kind of like, she was kind of like angry when she heard that.
Yeah.
So I had to calm her down because she was like the doctor said, yeah, you have this. There's no cure. You have to learn how to live with this.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
the thing is that he didn't even like give me some like exercises or anything to help me with that. It was just like,
So,
yeah, you're with that. Go ahead, live your
Ugh.
life.
good luck.
Yeah, you're on
Yeah.
your own now.
Yep.
uh,
I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, doesn't have cure. And then after that then the nurse gave me a whole paper like this explaining
oh my
what was
gosh.
POTS and I was like okay like figuring out by myself but so what do you wish like the people understand better about living with POTS like what do you think will be the best thing
I
about it?
think I wish people would understand just from living with POTS that everybody has a different experience. It's an array of symptoms, basically, is what it is. So, some people might have some symptoms that are a little bit different from others, but we're all suffering from the same, unfortunately, chronic illness. However, I wish people would just understand that there's going to be days that are really bad. There's going to be days that are really good. And also, this is something maybe I kind of felt because I was scared. Uh, I was a little bit of an insecure, like, high schooler, but I was scared to tell people that I fainted, like that I faint, it kind of sounds a little bit, it has a dramatic connotation to it.
Hmm.
So I would tell people, yeah, I get a little, dizzy a little bit. I kind of would bounce around it, but I
Yeah.
wish people would realize that it's nothing that is really in our heads. It's absolutely something that it's a little bit neurological. It's even like I think it's a mix between neurological and
Yeah.
cardiac. So yeah, it's something that we really cannot control. And I think with just any really people that have chronic illnesses in general, that it is debilitating. There's going to be days that we really might not be in our best mood or our best spot. But we really are trying, and we're really,
Yeah.
I think people with POTS are really, really resilient because
So,
it's something that they had to find out about and they had to deal with while they're trying to get diagnosed. And it's just something I wish as a society there's more education about it. And I think that starts with awareness because if people know about it, people are interested about it and people will research it and it'll be something that is more a part of medical settings so that, it doesn't take a 14-year-old girl 8 doctors to get diagnosed with it. And it's something that a doctor can immediately recognize.
exactly. So, how do you change pods change your experience in school, like also physically and emotionally?
Well, I carry salt tablets with me everywhere. Like I probably have them like somewhere in my room right now.
Do you have the
Um,
potassium ones? Potassium.
yeah, yes, the ones that come in the big blue bottle. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vitacium's my favorite. I buy those like I go through those like in a month. I'll go through like two. And yeah, I love those. I keep them in my school backpack because there are days that are really tough, but there's also days I have a test on the same day. So it's like I still have to go to school. And I think in school it's a lot scarier because you don't want people to see you or you don't want to cause a scene, or just let alone not be able to focus because you're like so focused on like what's going on with your body.
Yeah.
But I'm so thankful to have friends and my school knows about my condition, to where I do have people that can help me if I do have like an episode or something. But and they're always like willing to, if we need to stop and take a break like from walking to classes, like we can. So yeah, but in school I've had days where it's hard to get through. But usually I just salt is like my lifesaver. Like
Yeah.
I put it in my food. I like during lunch I just people will watch me just drizzle salt all over my chips. It's
Same.
like I need it. So yeah.
Exactly. So, what
Mhm.
challenges do you face in class or with attendance, and how do you manage this?
So attendance, I probably POTS has taken so many days
Yeah.
from my school. I remember my first year, I had pretty hard classes actually for freshmen, and I remember having to miss I think like a week and a half, because I could not like physically be out, and I every time I get up, I feel so sick, and it's really frustrating because like my mind really wants to go get these things done, but my body's just telling me like no, like as soon as I get a reality check as soon as I stand up. So I think it's just something that I had to learn like and accept, like I'm gonna have to take days off, like it's just something my body needs to recover. um so I and just this year actually I've taken some days off of school because of my POTS. I just got over, actually I just had COVID. Last week I had COVID again, which is just
Oh
ironic that we're
no.
having this. Yeah, so I had to not only miss school for COVID, but even after I tested negative, I had to miss some school. And it's really frustrating, but once
Wow.
again, something I have to understand and like let my body take care of.
Yeah, exactly. And how do you think also this affected to your like social life and friendships?
Yeah, well, this Halloween, actually, I had to stay home from Halloween.
Oh,
I was having a really bad day with my POTS, and my friends know that I have bad days sometimes, but this one was really frustrating because not only was it Halloween, but it was a Friday night, so I didn't have school the next morning, and my last Halloween as a high schooler. So it was really frustrating. I was in my bed, like really upset
oh yeah.
that I just couldn't go out and be with my friends, and I had a whole Halloween costume. It was a lot to take
Yeah,
in because it's
yeah.
not only like your body's upset, but your mind is upset too. So yeah, and it's not just then. I've had to skip birthday parties. I've been on vacation sometimes and I've had to stay back. But I think it's just in the beginning it was really frustrating and I almost just wanted to be like, who cares? Like I'm risking it anyway. But now I've learned far too much that it's not willing, like the risk is not worth it. I'd much rather stay at home and just make sure I'm okay instead of like embarrassing myself in public or, having an episode and like feeling horrible for the next day.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what I came to.
Yeah, and we will dive like what helped us most and like in the other section, but like
Hmm.
basically one thing for me, it's like first assault, as you say. Other
Hmm.
thing that had helped me, and I wish we can share this later, the ginger is like something that I would
Oh,
say that
huh.
oh my God.
I've never heard that.
Oh my
I'll
God.
try it. I love ginger.
Okay, and actually, after going to a lot of specialists because oh my God, I don't know
Hmm.
how much money my mom has spent on
Oh,
things.
same.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Oh my God. But then actually, the only option we had at the end of everything was going to a homeopathic doctor. So
Mm.
he is like a, natural remedies and like
Oh,
natural
yeah.
things, natural things. And the thing that he gave me after that changed my life and improved it probably in a 50%.
Wow.
So basically what he said to me is that we are nature, like we as humans, we're part of like the nature. And I remember I was so skeptical because I didn't trust in a lot of things like acupuncture when they put like things in.
Hmm.
I was skeptical of that, but the advices he gave me after that, that was actually that I believe on because he said he sent me chlorophyll that it was basically bad chlorophyll. Let's say it's like the blood of the plant. It's
Uh-huh.
like kind of
Yeah.
like a thing
Yes.
I love to drink. He sent me a lot of green juices.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
then he sent me more vitamins that also helped me a lot. And
Hmm.
lastly, he say every time you feel dizzy, eat ginger.
Huh.
And I don't know, it was like placebo. You know what placebo is like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know, it was placebo or something, but honestly, oh my God. I was like,
Wow.
this thing changed my life. So
That's really
what's
interesting.
yeah, you should try one day.
I
I
definitely
still like
will.
on the research about why. I kind of heard it's like a stimulant. It also help when you have a lot of nauseas because I know as a POTS person, the nauseas is always there. Or
Hmm.
even when you feel when you eat a lot of long meals or something like that, you just eat a little bit of ginger. Uh,
Yeah.
but my point with this was how the people around me interpreted a lot of things with the salt and like my feet
Hmm.
up and like
Yeah.
and it was so frustrating because every time people see me eat like little packets of salt and they were like, "Oh, are you okay? Why are you eating
Yeah. Yeah.
salt?"
It does not make sense because it's such like a serious illness. It's like, what do you mean it makes you like salt makes you feel
But
better? Like
right?
it doesn't.
And
Yeah.
then it's like me explaining, oh no, I have this condition. So
Yeah.
honestly, I will say at the end, I didn't like still like telling a lot of people about it because some of them
Hmm.
don't really care. So that's
Yeah.
one of the things I wish people really understand about.
Hmm.
It's not something that you have to, okay, she only have a dizziness. No, no, it's a lot
It's
more.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
what do you say what helps you cope mentally on hard days?
So honestly, I think I found the most support like through online communities. I've from the first day that I like heard about POTS, I immediately started to look online, and I know it's like, oh, don't believe everything you see on TikTok, but I do find a lot of people that have it. And sometimes when I'm having a really hard day, I kind of just will search on TikTok, like just the name, like just POTS, and so many people are going through it, and I just kind of feel less alone. And then there's people in the comments saying, yeah, I'm like having a really hard day right now. This is what I'm doing. So it kind of makes you feel like you're not just confined to your room, feeling bad. It's not like it's just something like, oh, Ainsley, she's her, like the one person in her family with a chronic illness. It's like there's so many people out there that have it. So, and I've also found like obviously Instagram pages like yours, and there's a couple others that I've been following, and they post regularly to like make me feel valid, and they make me feel like it's okay. So I think that really helps. And also, even when I'm like laying in bed and I'm like, well, I can't go out and like, do something productive, sometimes I'll just find something productive while I'm laying in bed. And whether it's like
Awesome.
online shopping or like, I don't know, play a game on my phone, or just something to keep me like not so depressed, because that doesn't help. So if you kind of get your brain like motivated and like distracted almost, it
Yeah.
helps, I feel like. So,
Yeah, like I remember the first when you just text me, I was like,
mhm,
okay, I honestly I want to even like join a lot of people because I know it's not
mhm,
easy to deal with that alone and
yeah,
to hear a lot of experiences. And as we say before, I think long COVID was like a very important role on this.
mhm, yeah,
But basically, I was also very like listen to stories and like people telling about pods and like you're not alone. So I think that was
mhm,
like for myself another thing. So I
yeah.
think all right. So Sebas, do you want to do the session for
Yeah.
Andy?
So, who has been your biggest support system through this journey?
Honestly, I would say my mom. She's been incredible, and she's research. She's very, very into finding alternative options and not always trusting doctors, unfortunately. Not that they're doing bad, because they don't know. Some doctors don't have the education,
Yeah.
the most new education. And she actually had stage 2 breast cancer a couple years ago. And thank God she's completely fine now. And she's been doing great. But she only was able, we really think a huge help to her overcoming was through kind of doing her own research and finding people where she can get um treatments from, like not treatments, but there are these like trials going on, and she really tried to find something alternative. And I think with that she also did that for my pots. She did a lot of work for me, and a lot of times, it's like I feel bad for people that don't have someone like that, because I don't really know what I would have done. I think I would have probably still been in a spiral, thinking I had different things than I actually did. 'Cause she's the first one that like heard about POTS, and she told me about it. And she's not only been there for me, like finding like resources and treatments, but she's also been just there for me like emotionally. She's let me skip school. She's taken the time to talk to me about my symptoms, which is something like, honestly, like that's the best part, is just talking to someone about what you're dealing with,
Yeah.
because you feel less alone and you feel heard. So she's been great, and I always thank her for it, because I really just don't think I could have gotten through it without her.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I get you because like and for the thing that you said that she let you miss, for like for example, for my mom, she was really restricted with that, but like when
Mm,
she saw that like it was really a problem, she started like letting it go a little bit.
yeah.
So yeah,
Same.
Hmm.
it's so nice to have someone like that.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
What habits, tools, or routines help you manage your symptoms day to day, day by day?
Well, obviously, yeah. So I obviously talked about salt. I think everybody knows salt is like the
Mm.
best. Also, I use compression socks. I know they're really ugly, but they help a lot. I don't know, they just like they create so much like tension. They like slow the blood flow, so it's like I keep more blood up in my head. And just taking a breath, taking like getting up slowly, not taking things so quickly. And I just that's on drinking a lot of water too, I think just helps in general. I need to try out the ginger
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I think
Thursday
that'll
tell me.
actually really help me. Because unfortunately there's nothing really like a nothing really else beyond
Mhm.
get your sodium intake up, get up slower right now. I'm hoping, in 5 years I can look at this and say, wow, I can't believe there isn't a cure.
Yeah.
And now there is, but we just don't know. So I've heard there's some medications that could ease the symptoms. I don't think it cures it, but my mom has told me about some things that we could try. But in general, just basic, compression socks and salt and getting up slowly. I think that's honestly what helps me the best.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know something
Mhm.
that as a fun fact of just talking here, I was so I have this page on Facebook.
Mhm.
I was trying to join to too many groups of like this autonomia. And
Yeah.
I remember one person he commented something like, "Oh my God, so I am 50 years old. I have 4 kids and I have this chronic fatigue." And I was just personally, I was telling him what helped me the most. So
Mhm.
first I say like the diet, it's so important, like having a healthy diet with like veggies,
Yeah.
proteins, and like then I
Mhm.
told him about the ginger and like vitamins, and then I say yeah. So other thing with the exercise, I told him to not do like a lot of exercise, not overexceed,
Mhm.
but at least do some cardio or something
Yes.
to keep you move. And you won't believe
Mhm.
the hate I received. I was
Really?
so impressed. It was like old people commenting me,
Uh-huh.
who you are, you're not a doctor. I was like,
But
what?
we have these experiences. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you have
Right.
all these people telling you this is like you don't always
I,
trust doctors.
right.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, I'm not giving him prescriptions or anything. I'm just telling him what helped
Yeah.
the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
important. Like even I know even a little advice you can give to someone, it's like something that it might change them, but it doesn't mean like I'm a doctor or professional.
Right.
Just sharing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what?
Mhm.
Oh, so yeah, Sebas.
Don't worry. But yeah, you should try the ginger. I
Mhm.
remember when Susanna told me that it was on a trip to Boston.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really helpful.
Oh,
I
did you
love
try
ginger.
Sebas?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Like ginger
great.
tea. I love putting ginger on my sushi. So there's
Yeah,
a ton of
ginger.
things I can do with that.
Yeah, I might do a
Great.
research, but
Yeah. Uh,
So, what
yeah.
has Pods taught you about yourself that you're actually proud of?
well, I think it's really taught me that, like, just in general, resilience. I mean, just being able to like get up every day and just not let this like control my life and still having the same motivation that I did before, just in a little bit of a different way. I think honestly it's been like incredible. I've gone through a lot in my personal life. Just this past year my parents got divorced and it was something hard, but I did not let it affect my grades. I didn't let it affect my performance, my goals in life. I really did not let it control me. And I feel like I owe a lot of it to having POTS. And not only have I really grown from POTS in that sense, but I've also grown just in a sense that I've really found value in community. I think online communities before I've been a little skeptical about groups and stuff because it's like social media, it's something I'm kind of unfamiliar with and it's something that can be misleading. But I honestly think that that's something that I think social media has just been amazing for, that it brings these groups together because I found so much like kindness and just respect and understanding through these communities. So I think honestly I've just grown as a person that's more resilient, but then also more community oriented. And I hope to bring that into college and my life and
Yeah.
just still carrying this like part of me that isn't gonna let some stupid little illness just like define me. So
Okay. Yeah, I
Mm.
think the next question will be like the same as you say. So, concluding the section 4, um, do you mind if you can share your dreams, like your future dreams? What do you expect to
yeah.
do in college?
Yeah, so I am studying political science in college, and I'm actually supposed to hear back from the University of Michigan in on December 19th. And that's my dream school ever since I could probably form a thought, I've been a Michigan fan. And I only live an hour from Ann Arbor. And it's also one of the best universities in the world. So
Wow.
I really, really want to go there. It's a hard school to go into, but I think I have a really good shot. But I hope to study political science there. And I also hope to join the UROP program, which is a undergraduate research opportunity program, where I possibly could continue this research, which would be like amazing.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm going to go to law school. I hope to be like an attorney, some type of, I'm hoping trade law. I'm really into that because I do like the economics part of um, business. So, and then also I'm also considering minoring in Spanish or something because I have the bilingual certificate because I took Spanish for 6 years. So I'm hoping to study in Spain someday. I love different cultures. My mother's actually Greek, so she's taught me a lot about the importance of having a culture around you. So
Yeah.
I'm very, very interested in stuff like that. So love to travel someday with my work, but beyond that, research. I love research. It's something that I've been doing for 3 years now, so I'm very, very invested.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to say that I'm so proud of you. I mean,
Thank you.
we
Well, I'm
haven't been
proud
in,
of you.
yeah, but
I
I
mean, I love
know,
that we're having this.
no, I know, and thank you. Well, I mean, thank you later because I have to thank you. But I mean, yeah, just to like kind of say, but I mean, I bet you can get to any university you want.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad you're doing a Spanish. I mean, as
Thank you.
Spanish people, Sebas and I, like mostly of my community, we're so proud of
Yeah,
this.
thank you.
Actually, with all the situation, it's also another thing to discuss about. And one very important thing is like, don't matter the race, don't matter the community, the country. I feel like any illness or anything about the health related, it's something that join us, and
Hmm.
it doesn't matter who we're coming from, we're still having the same thing, and it's
Yeah,
very important about this. So, Sebas,
yes,
you
I
want to
agree.
do the last session?
Yeah. So, what will you say to another teen dad who has just diagnosed with POTS?
I would honestly tell them that it's going to be okay. You do not have to change your life around pots. Kind of the same thing I've been saying. It's not something that defines you. But moreover, I would immediately suggest to find a community online. I think I personally, I talking about pots to people, while there are some that might be a little bit like, oh, Ainsley, you're like I don't want to hear about it. I have talked to people before and they say, "Wow, I think I have the same symptoms as you,
Yeah.
but my doctor said I had anemia." And so it helps to talk about it because it's not talked about enough, but I definitely see more people talking about it. I see videos that go viral for having POTS and people are expressing their stories. So I really suggest online communities because I think that's honestly where you find a lot of valuable information and people speaking out. And yeah, but moreover, you can still do the things that you want to do if you really put your mind to it and just almost pretend like it's not something that affects you. Um, and just moving on, it really, really helps your symptoms, honestly. I think a lot of POTS is how you decide it will affect you. And um, in that sense, I think just people with chronic illnesses in general, they shouldn't always rely on their primary care physicians. I know I didn't at first. Obviously, they're great doctors. I think it's just a systematic issue with not knowing about POTS. But um, in general, I think if a teen was diagnosed with POTS, I strongly suggest finding a community and not trusting the first things that you're told when you go to see a doctor. Find some type of specialist, a cardiologist, because there is a huge community of people with POTS. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get you because like the
Mhm.
first time I heard like Susanna just text me about like this project, I was like, yeah, get me in.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
yeah, I want to hear more.
Yeah, I know. This is great. So,
Just give me 1 second. Continue with the other questions, Susanna,
Yeah,
please.
sorry.
Sorry.
So,
no,
so to end all this, So what wish doctors, teachers, and what do you think people what do you think they should better understood about living with POTS and dysautonomia in general? What is something you wish they would know, your people around? Yep.
Well, I think that the number one thing that people always say, once again, my survey, I'm already seeing these responses that people were either directly or indirectly told that it was all in their head. And I think there's a lot, part of my research is identifying the stigma for not even just women with health, but also people who have symptoms like fainting and dizziness. And obviously it is hard to diagnose POTS because it's very similar to anxiety and some other conditions. But I think with more education and I think with more awareness, I think if groups, spoke with doctors more, and I think also with more people being diagnosed, more doctors find out, and then therefore other patients they have, they might make the connection. But I think the medical field has a lot of work to do with that. Um, Now, granted, I think we are very close to something big for POTS. I think I've seen a lot of new studies come out about possible links to COVID and how certain tips can actually like really help like manage POTS. And there's might be a new like a medication we can take, which would be incredible. But also for teachers, I think my teachers have been pretty great. I think hopefully when I'm in college, my professors, they'll be a little bit lenient with me, but obviously if I do get into Michigan, it's a very hard college. So I don't know if I'll have that much leniency. But I think just understanding that I'm not going to be at my 100%. Also my soccer coach, he really understands what I'm going through. Um, so he obviously like understands that I'm gonna sometimes in the middle of the game I need to come out and put my legs up,
Yeah.
just get blood rushing to my head. So I think just in general, I've had great experiences with my coaches and teachers, people I work with personally, but I do think doctors have a long way to go. And these are very intelligent people, so I think they have the capability to um, have more education and be able to diagnose more people.
Exactly. And
I'm
well,
sorry for that.
no,
You're
it's
good.
okay. Okay, and I think in this interview, I learned a lot about you, and I want to say again, that I'm so proud of your progress.
Thank
I
you. Well, I'm
personally think,
proud of yours.
yeah, I thank you so much. I personally think, you will get like honestly, so I will say this thing. So every time we have certain barriers in our life, or either you get stuck with them or you work with them, and they can convert in an engine for you. So proud you're moving forward and
Thank
trying to
you.
get all this research. And okay, so we have 10 minutes. Okay, and we don't want this to get cut. So
Yeah.
yeah, so basically, I hope like there's a lot of things upcoming, as I said.
Hmm.
I hope we can work in a lot of research with Sebas and my
Yeah,
other
for sure.
classmates. But yeah, there's a lot of things to work with the dysautonomia and with
Hmm.
POTS, because there's a lot of things that are very unspoke. So thank you so much, Ainsley, for
Of
sharing
course.
your
Thank you so
story.
much for having me.
Honestly, like it's very powerful that we have
Thank
you
you.
here. And yeah, Sebas, do you want to say something about it?
No, yeah. So yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for
Of
sharing your
course.
experience. I know sometimes it's hard to share this at the
Yeah.
beginning. I don't know if you just comfortable now, but like it's still
Yeah.
hard.
Well, it's been 4 years of
Yeah, it's but still like
yeah.
something to be, I don't know, proud
Yeah.
to share
Thank
about,
you.
because it's something not that will not help you but help others.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I'm so
exactly.
inspired by you guys. I love that you guys are doing this in Massachusetts because I think hitting local is great. I almost want to do it in Michigan, hopefully
No,
when
you
maybe
should.
in college. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I actually did see there is a club at a nearby school that has a dysautonomia club actually. So,
Absolutely.
I think
Mhm.
it's becoming a huge thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just great what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and yeah, basically our mission, like it's we say Massachusetts because you know there is like a lot of hospitals here. We have like the Bradham
Hmm.
Hospital, and I know there's
Hmm.
a lot of things people don't know that we have a lot of things on help here.
Hmm.
The problem is
Yeah.
that I have spoke with few doctors they know about pods. I might have to do an interview. You can always join with us. I will be so proud if
Great.
you join.
Yeah, of
Yeah, and
course.
then if, for example, if you create your Michigan thing, we will
Mhm.
always support that after, of course.
Yeah.
Like we can like do, I don't know, like uh
Yeah, we
yeah,
can connect. Uh-huh.
yeah, connect.
Yeah, collaboration.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
after that, like we are also so proud you are part of our project as well because as I said, you like still like being here
Thank
active.
you.
So I'm so proud of
Yeah.
that. And I
Thank
hope to see
you.
you soon. I hope you see I will
Yeah,
send an
of
email
course.
any upcoming events and if you
I'd
have
love
any
to join.
questions, just let us know, okay?
Okay,
Thank
great.
you
This has
so
been
much. All
amazing.
right.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
me.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye
You
bye,
have
Have
a
a great
great
guys.
day.
night.